It is important to remember that when you shoot film or data, you are working with a two-dimensional medium. All depth on the big or small screen is just an illusion. Even 3D movies just trick the eyes into thinking there is depth, but there is not. All moving images are just a string of flat, still pictures. It is always my goal when I shoot to try and give this 2D image as much depth as I possibly can. The more tricks you have up your sleeve to conjure up the appearance of depth, the more you will immerse your audience. These are my favorite tricks in reverse order. Number 5. Lighting and shading. The higher the contrast between the light and shadow, the deeper it appears. The softer the graduation, the more round the subject appears. Number 4. Focus. I love an image with a shallow depth of field. You can create the illusion of depth by shifting focus to demonstrate the distance between objects. The reason depth of field is only number 4 on my list is because long lenses and shallow depths of field have little perspective, and that is why number 3 is perspective. What is so cool about using perspective to conjure up the illusion of dimension is that we have so much control over it. The audience will read the convergence of lines as depth. These two lines look flat. Same lines, but now it looks like they are heading off into the distance. By using wider angle lenses, I can control how far I want the horizon to appear. Also, the placement of the camera can exaggerate the convergence of parallel lines, creating an even greater illusion of depth. 2 is parallax. If the camera is moving, objects close to the camera will move faster than objects in the distance. And objects in the far distance will hardly move at all. Number 1. The simplest and yet most effective of all depth-producing tricks is occlusion. Simply put, subject A in foreground will cover subject B in background. Put 1 and 2 together and you have my favourite camera tool of all, the dolly. Moving the camera not only adds dynamism to static shots, it also adds depth, as the audience can gauge the depth in the scene using parallax and occlusion. The more depth tricks you can put into the frame, the more depth the audience will imagine. Take this very simple scene that actually uses 5 depth tricks, but most obvious are light and shading, parallax, and occlusion.